So here's an update to a pretty popular video I covered last week, which was titled, "Man Decides Not to Raise Cheating Wife's Lover's Baby and is About to Get the Wrath of Her Friends." And as a recap, that's about the guy whose wife recently passed away and was really going through a hard time, losing his wife who he loved very much. Then finds out from her girlfriend who came to him and told him that she was actually cheating on him during that time period. And it's a possibility that their baby, because she just had a baby, who I think is like 7 months old or something, may not be his. So that's a whole other thing destroying this guy's life. He takes a DNA test and sure enough, the baby's not his. So you want to talk about this guy just going through one horrible thing after another here. So obviously, given the situation, he doesn't want to raise the baby. And nobody can blame him. It's not the baby's fault, and I feel bad for the baby, but the longer the baby's with him, the more attached it is, and he simply wants to move on. And he was debating all these things like adoption, maybe that her family could raise the kid and all that. And as you can imagine, there was all sorts of comments about that, but now we have an update here as to what's going on with him. And I'm sure you guys are very eager to hear it. And by the way, a shout out to Nick for letting me know about the update. He says here, "Thanks to everyone who reached out with advice and support. I didn't get to respond to every message, but I really do appreciate it. After finding out my son isn't biologically mine, I decided to tell both my family and my in-laws." I can only imagine that conversation. "My family was shocked and angry about everything, but they stood by me. My in-laws were also shocked, but didn't believe it at first." Of course they didn't believe it. Do you think they wouldn't believe that their daughter who passed away, who they loved, was a cheater, and that the child isn't yours and all that, and that whole big mess? No way. Not my little girl. They asked to see the DNA test results, and after seeing them, they suggested we do a second test with both families present just to be sure. Really? They really think he's making this up? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, you can pay for it, assholes. Really? The baby, if the baby was mine, the only thing I had left of her, do you really think it's a big joke that she was cheating? And the DNA test is right here? But okay, fine, if you have to see it. They said that if it is confirmed he isn't mine, that my wife's late sister, who has a 4-year-old daughter, would adopt him, and I could take my name off the birth certificate if I wanted. I agreed, and we did the test yesterday. Results should come in about a week. Well, that's good at least. I mean, frankly, this guy deserves a smooth process here with the baby. That's huge. Life-changing that the sister, his former sister-in-law, is taking the child. I mean, she's obviously a very kind, loving person. Really. Just taking on a kid, that's no small thing, for goodness sake. I thought this guy would have the biggest uphill battle you can imagine. It says, "Honestly, I'm relieved how things are playing out. There hasn't been any drama, and everyone's been very understanding. I've also talked to a lawyer who said getting my name off the certificate should be straightforward with the test results." Good. I'm glad he went to a lawyer. "Thank you all again for your support, and for those who offered to adopt him. I'm sorry, but your kindness means a lot. I'll update when the final results are in." People from Reddit were offering to adopt. Well, you know what? There are a lot of people out there that can't have kids and they want to adopt. And let me tell you, depending on the state that you live in, there are some states, I know Massachusetts is one of them, because I had friends that adopted a baby like 10 years ago. You wouldn't believe, guys, the hoops that some of these states put people through to adopt a kid. It's unfreaking real. I think that's part of the reason some people go overseas to adopt little kids from like China or wherever, Korea, because here, oh my God. Says here again, "Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Also, English is my language, did my best here." He also says, "For those accusing me of karma farming, I'm going to delete this account after all this is over." Yeah, people are giving him shit. Now, a few comments here to wrap this up. This was a quick update, but I figure some of you guys want to know what happened to him. One guy says, "It's interesting that the in-laws want more proof. It's like they're hoping it's a mistake for some reason, either because they don't want to help with the baby or confirmation will prove their daughter is a cheater." I think it's mainly the in-laws don't want to believe that their daughter would do that. "Good, the aunt can step up and adopt the baby, who fortunately is barely 9 months old and won't remember any of this stuff. It sounds like the affair partner was either a coworker or could have been some random guy delivering water to the office. Who knows? Too bad Opie doesn't have her phone password, as he could check out her texts and calls." I'm sure somebody knows who that guy is. Somebody will. Let me tell you, believe me, I'm sure some digging can be done, and then that guy's in for a surprise if they catch him. Another one, not the a-hole. It still amazes me how women can argue against paternity tests being mandatory. This is why it should be. It doesn't mean they all cheat, but obviously enough to justify it. I'm glad that things worked out for you, dude. Another one. I can't believe you're getting downvoted for this. Actually, never mind. Of course you're getting downvoted for this because you called for accountability and personal responsibility. That doesn't jive very well with the usual approach of playing victim while being demanding. For those of you guys that don't go on Reddit, he's talking about how people are reacting to his post. A couple more. This guy says, remember, young men, or just men in general, always make sure to do DNA tests on the child before you sign the birth certificate. You'll be surprised how many fathers find out they aren't actual fathers. If your wife or girlfriend doesn't want to do a paternity test, leave her and move. A real woman would give you a paternity test to calm any doubts or paranoia. Well, I think honestly there are darn good women out there that would be hurt if they've been loyal and loving to their guy, and there are women like that, and the guy wanted a paternity test. They would be hurt by that because they've proven through their actions. But then again, you just never know, guys. How many guys out there had what they thought was the most loving, kind, supportive, loyal wife, and meanwhile, the baby comes out and looks like the UPS driver. Yeah, one more. He says, OP, I'm so proud of how you're handling this unimaginable situation. My heart goes out to all of you. Please don't be mad at the friend. She is in an awful situation too. I wouldn't have said anything either because the wife was terminal, and I also would have waited for a time she passed since you had a lot to deal with. Be thankful is now versus years from now. Many thoughts and blessings to you and your family. Yeah, this guy is going to be able to have a clean slate, move on. And by the way, he's still going to be messed up for a long time. His wife died. Obviously, they weren't together that long. This child he thought was his, he's now losing. So let's remember this. This guy's going to take years of recovery. This guy's he's probably scarred for life on multiple fronts here, you know. But all I say is take it day by day. Spend time with people that care about you and love you, your family and your friends. Try to improve a little bit every day. It's going to be tough some days to get out of bed. Emotions will be a roller coaster, but ultimately in the end, he'll be okay. I recommend exercise, riding your bike, going for a jog, or hitting the gym with some weights. Maybe going to a martial arts class or boxing so you can whale on some things. Anything. But over time, he will definitely get better. So good luck to this guy. I really wish him well.